problem getting everything in the vehicle? No, just a very smart question.
Actually, I had a hat on.
Right.
Amador, venga para acá. Estamos en el grupo, hermano.
Amazon, you know it's true. The crimes of ICE depend on you. Amazon, you know it's true. The crimes of ICE depend on you. Amazon, you know it's true. The crimes of ICE depend on you.
Keep going. Don't let me stop you. I'm supporting you.
This morning, many of us met outside our friend Ravi Ragbir's hearing. Now we come back together outside Amazon's office to demand that the corporation cut ties with ICE and stop enabling Trump's deportation machine. As Jews and allies, many of us have loved ones and ancestors who were ripped from their families, imprisoned, tortured, and murdered, all by people who claimed that they were just doing their jobs. The Nazis would not have been able to effectively commit genocide without technological support from such corporations as IBM. Today, while Amazon markets itself as a neutral e-commerce company, their web hosting subsidiary, Amazon Web Services, AWS, hosts ICE databases and helps ICE track immigrants. AWS makes immigrant neighborhoods less safe.
Today, Amazon is hosting its AWS Identity Day for its web hosting customers. We're not really sure what that means, but Amazon, we identify as Jews. We've been taught as Jews to never let anything like the Holocaust ever happen again. Now, with adults and children alike detained in unacceptable conditions, ICE terrorizing immigrants in every corner of this country, and people dying at the border while seeking safety in the United States, we cannot wait to take action. We refuse to wait and see what happens next. Amazon, we refuse to allow you to proceed with your AWS Identity Day. No more business as usual.
No more business as usual. Now, we'll hear from the executive director of the New Sanctuary Coalition, a leader in the immigrant justice movement, Ravi Ragbir.
This morning I had to report to a deportation officer at 26 Federal Plaza. A deportation officer is exactly what it means. His role, his job is to deport me. His role, his job is to deport thousands of immigrants in New York City and across the country. His role is to destroy our families. His role is to destroy our lives. And with me was many of you who accompanied me. You were there this morning when I went to check in. Because of you, you stopped my deportation 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you walked with me. You walked with me. You protested. You fought against ICE. And I'm here, standing here, because you stood up. We see the arc of this, we see the pendulum of injustice swinging, where history is repeating itself. That we know our people's lives have been destroyed. We know people's lives that they are dying. You just heard from the rabbi about what is happening at the border. Children are dying. 27 kids died in the hands, 7 kids died at the hands of ICE in the last year. 7 children died at the hands of ICE this year. One was a 1-year-old child. A 1-year-old child was ripped apart from his mom, kept in prison, and died. Where are we going? Why are we allowing this to happen? Fortunately, we are standing up to this agency before it reaches to the point where millions are now afraid of what is going to happen to them. We saw today at Federal Plaza where we had 2 congressional reps, Congresswoman Clark, Congresswoman Velasquez, who went inside and they were disrespected by the security officers. They were disrespected by the ICE officers. They said they were banned from coming in with me. My congressional reps. The people in elected positions are not allowed to walk with us. The people who should have oversight over them are not allowed to be there. Fortunately, they stood up. Congresswoman Clark and Velasquez stood up against them, telling them that they will be with me. And they went in with me, and I'm outside here. So we want, why would they not allow them to go in? Because as a public advocate, Jumani Williams said, they're a Gestapo. He used the words Gestapo. Are we saying that they're Gestapo? Are we close to identifying that this agency is a Gestapo, that they don't want control by Congress and they deny control by the courts? An agency that works outside the Constitution, it's a Gestapo. It is ripping apart our families. It is caging children. It is denying people and sending people back to their deaths in other countries. That's a Gestapo. That's where history is repeating itself. But now, before that arc swings, before that pendulum swings, we want to stop it now. We are here to stop it. And we are here targeting Amazon because they use technology, as you just heard. IBM played a major role in identifying people who were Jews, who were the other, who they wanted to target. We are the other now. We are the ones they're targeting. The immigrants, the non-citizens. You know, Borough President Eric Adams said, the words he used was, if you came from Ohio, go back to Ohio. And everyone is upset. Everyone is upset. Well, you can't tell us to go back to Ohio. Let's change one word. Go back to your country. Oh my, did it change? We just changed one word. So the insanity of one word change, he highlighted the problems. So what we want to do today is we want to go to Amazon. We want to tell Amazon, stop cooperating with ICE. Stop making ICE work easier. Stop letting ICE use your technology to find our families, to identify our families, to use your technology so that they can take us away. They can destroy us. Because this shouldn't be allowed to happen. And we are going to stand up against ICE. We are going to stand up against Amazon. We are going to stand up against any agency, including the president that is committing crimes right now, and including the Senate that is allowing crimes to happen. We are going to stand up against them.
Amazon, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Amazon, escucha, estamos en la lucha.
Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede. Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
We don't get it.
Shut it down!
We don't get it.
Shut it down!
No Amazon tech for ICE. No Amazon tech for ICE.
We demand that Amazon hear Ravi's story, recognize the harm they've inflicted upon immigrants like him, and cut ties with ICE. The system that constantly harasses and threatens people like Ravi would not be able to operate without Amazon's databases. These databases enable the agency to mine data, track down, kidnap, imprison, and deport our loved ones and neighbors. We refuse to allow Amazon to profit from this violence. I speak now to the attendees of the AWS Identity Day. Do not look away. Do not be a bystander. Speak up and demand that Amazon cut ties with ICE. I speak now to the shoppers in this very store and to the Amazon executives next door. Come down here. Listen to our voices. Listen to our voices. Listen to the story of Ravi Ragbir. We'll be here praying and mourning until you come downstairs to hear our voices. Amazon executives, come downstairs. Don't look away. Hear our stories. Now we'll hear from our allies at Make the Road New York.
Luis. Sí. Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Luis Gil.
Very good afternoon. My name is Luis Gil.
Soy miembro de Make the Road, se hace camino Make the Road.
I am a member of Make the Road New York.
New York, eso. Vengo aquí a mandar un mensaje a Jeff Bezos,
I have come here today to send a message to Jeff Bezos
que pare de los vínculos con ICE,
that he cut ties with ICE.
porque estamos cansados de la separación de familias.
We are tired of the separation of families.
No queremos esa injusticia.
We do not want this injustice.
¡Pare ahora!
Stop now.
¡Se puede!
¡Sí
¡Se puede!
Sí,
¡Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede!
¡No somos uno! ¡No somos 100! ¡Somos millones! ¡Cuéntenos bien!
¡Estamos en la lucha! Amazon, escucha, estamos en la lucha.
Amazon, escucha, estamos en la lucha.
Amazon executives, come downstairs. Don't look away. Hear our stories.
We've heard from Luis about why we cannot let this day pass unacknowledged. We demand that everyone at AWS Identity Day, at every level, hear these stories. We demand that they hear and understand the truth, that Amazon is guilty of dehumanization and violence against our neighbors. We know that Amazon employees have a choice. We say to them, you can choose not to be cogs in ICE's deportation machine. You can choose to stop contributing your labor and your skills to an industry that hunts down immigrants, tears families apart, and deports people from their homes.
Many of us are here today, and we can tell you exactly how this kind of dehumanization, what it does to people, what it does to our loved ones, even many decades later. We know today that if more regular Germans had made different choices, had chosen not to quietly keep their heads down and do their jobs, many of our families would look very different today. 75 years ago, Auschwitz was liberated. How many more lives could have been saved if ordinary Germans, just doing their jobs, acted against Hitler's status quo? As we pass around flyers to folks here today, to attendees, we invite you to make choices that your grandchildren would be proud of. The time for business, as usual, has long passed. Now is the time to throw a wrench into the gears of the machine of this country's deportation machine. Now is the time to bring that machine, this machine of Amazon and ICE, to a grinding halt.
Ravi Ragbir asked me to come in here and speak. He's outside. Why is he outside? He's outside because if he comes in, it's risky for him. And why is it risky? Because he's not a citizen. He checked in with ICE this morning, and now he's not even going to come in this building today. So we're here today to ask the executives of Amazon to get their asses down here and talk to Ravi and tell him why they're working with ICE. So why is Amazon working with ICE? They're greedy. It's about the money. It's not about people. It's not about humanity.
Come build the future with us. Our mission is to be Earth's most customer-centric company. This is what unites Amazonians across teams and geographies as we are all striving to delight our customers and make their lives easier, one innovative product, service, and idea at a time. Earth's most customer-centric company. It's true that Amazon makes lives easier. How many times has each of us ordered something on Prime and have it arrive on our doorstep within a day? But what about the lives that Amazon destroys? As Jews, we know that when a single human being is killed, it is as though a whole world is destroyed. Amazon Web Services partners with ICE and destroys lives. Together, we lift up 10 names of immigrants who have died in ICE custody in the past year alone. And after each name, we'll say, Zichrona Livraha, may their name be for a blessing, may their memory be for a blessing.
Abel Reyes Clemente.
Yeah,
Abel Reyes Clemente.
may their memory be a blessing.
54 años, ¿no?
Yeah, age 54. Simrat Kaur Singh, age 21. May their memory be a blessing.
Yamil Alexis Valderramos Torres.
Age 30. Zichrona Livraha. May their memory be a blessing.
Chichoronal Pedro Arriago Santoya.
Age 44. Zichrona Livraha.
Roberto Rodríguez Espinosa.
Age 37. Zichrona Livraha.
Roylan Hernández Díaz.
Age 43.
Carlos Gregorio Hernández Vázquez.
Age 16. Zichrona Livraha.
Wilmer Josué Ramírez Vázquez.
Age 2. Zichrona Livraha. Anthony Oluse Akenyene, age 56. Zichrona Livraha. None of these people died in isolation. Each had a family, a community, a dream. Many were parents, all were in need. Our sacred text tells us in Deuteronomy 15:11, Potech tiftach et yadecha le'achika le'onyecha ule'evyonecha be'artzecha. You must open your hand to your sibling, to the poor and the needy in your land. We have failed them, and now they are dead, and 10 entire worlds have been shattered. Let us recite the mourner's Kaddish, the prayer over the dead, in memory of these 10 human beings and the world shattered by their deaths. Yitzgadal v'yitzgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma tibrach yiroteh v'yamlich machoteh, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei zechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman karib v'yamru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam onei amayah. Yisbarach v'yishbach v'yichamar v'yikramam v'yitnaseh. Yitzagar v'yitaleh v'yichalal shemei v'kushah v'rechu. Le'elam v'bo birchatah shirata. Shishbachata v'yamata. Zamiram le'amal v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah v'yishbach. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh יעשה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ויאמרו אמן. May their memories be a blessing for us all. I'm going to invite a story. There are many among us who have immigrants in our families, in our histories, in our own lives. Who has a story to share at this moment with all of us?
I had a very, very dear friend who was raised in Poland, and in talking to her, we learned that the part of Poland she was from was very close to the part of Lithuania that my ancestors were from. And we were talking, and she said, well, do you still have family there? And I said, Marta, I'm Jewish. Of course I don't. 95% of the Jews in Lithuania were murdered. And we can't let something like that happen ever again, where people can possibly say, oh yeah, there were these people who used to live here. We can't let that happen again. Never again is now.
Never again is now. Never again is now. Never again is now. Never again is now.
Never again is now. Never again is now.
I want to bring a song by Rabbi Menachem Creditor. I think most of the Jews in the room have probably heard it a lot, and those who are not familiar, you'll catch it quickly. But the words are, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, we will build a world from love. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadanai, Nai, Nai, Yadanai, Nai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadanai, Nai, Nai, Yadanai, Nai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadanai, Nai, Nai, Yadanai, Nai.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh,
We will build this world with love. We will build this world with love. And we build this world with love.
And who will build this world from love? We know that by standing here, each of us is building a world from love. We refuse to act out of fear. We refuse to act out of grief. We act from a place of love. When we go back to the streets, we carry that love with us. When we go every day to our places of work, to the places where we live, we carry that love with us. That love is all that we have. That love is what will see this world be repaired from its state of destruction. That is what we have, and that is what we will take with us as we go back into the world today. Don't forget it.
No Amazon tech for ice. No Amazon tech for ice. No Amazon tech for ice. No Amazon tech for